بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ومن والاه. For today's Tafsir class, we are starting at Ayah 65 and 66 of Surah al-Baqarah. Ayah 65, Allah said, "And you certainly know those amongst you who broke the Sabbath, whereupon we said to them, be apes, despised, and rejected." Ayah 66, Allah said, "So we made their faith an example to their own generation and to those who came after them, and a lesson to those who fear Allah."
Again, barakallahu fik.
The ayah, Ustadh.
نعم, the ayah number 65 again.
The number 65 or 66?
نعم, 65 first. نعم.
Ayah 65, "And you certainly know those amongst you who broke the Sabbath, whereupon we said to them, be apes, despised, and rejected."
نعم, بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. But today is the 20th of Ramadan and our lesson is the 41st lesson, so this is number 41. And the Imam Al-Si'di rahimahullah ta'ala said the meaning of this ayah, أي ولقد تقرر عندكم حالة الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت. يعني it is established for you the condition of those that have transgressed on the day of Saturday. And they are the ones that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned their story full in Surah al-A'raf. The ayat. فالله subhanahu wa ta'ala has incurred his wrath upon them, and this is a grave sin. And he made them قردة خاسئين, meaning humiliated, حقيرين, ذليلين. And he made this their uquba. So Shaykh Taqiyuddin al-Hilali said, and indeed you knew those amongst you who transgressed in the matter. And in Sahih International it says, and you had already known about those who transgressed. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ. And indeed you knew, and you had already known. The Taqiyuddin al-Hilali better. We say, and indeed you knew those amongst you who transgressed amongst you. نعم. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ. And indeed you knew those, we're going to say, who transgressed among you. Let's contemplate at it for a second. And indeed you knew those amongst you who transgressed. And this is clear in terms that what? That they are amongst you and they transgressed. The second one says already known about those who transgressed among you. The second one can give the idea that they transgressed amongst you, yani against you. So maybe this is why Shaykh Taqiyuddin al-Hilali has put amongst you before transgressed. So he said, and indeed you knew those amongst you who transgressed in the matter. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ. In the matter of the Sabbath. مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ, i.e. Saturday. فَقُلْنَا لَهُمْ, we said to them, be you monkeys despised and rejected. خاسئين, al-Imam says حقيرين, دليلين. So we can, if we want to stick to it, we will say be monkeys, comma, humiliated. Let's find the word. Despised could be يعني محتقر. Let's say ذليل بالإنجليزي it would say servile or servile, vassal, humble. No, this is not what it's meant. Let's look at قاموس المعاني. Debasing, degrading. We can say degraded. I think this is a very appropriate word. Degraded. Humiliating, abject, miserable, wretched. Wretched is also good. Meek, cringing. Degraded is good. And if you agree with me, let me know. Type in the chat, say yes, we agree. Degraded is the best. So the translation will be, and indeed you knew those who transgressed among you in the matter, in brackets, or let's say who transgressed among you in, and then brackets, the matter of, close of brackets, the Sabbath, and then brackets, i.e. Saturday. We said to them, be monkeys, comma, degraded. نعم تفضل. Number 66.
Allah Azza wa Jal said, so we made their fate an example to their own generation and those who come after them, and a lesson to those who fear Allah.
No. You have what Imam As-Si'di said?
نعم.
Go ahead.
Imam As-Si'di said, Allah made this punishment, bracket, an example to their own generation, that is the nations that witnessed it and those whom the news reached at that time. And the ayah, and to those who came after them, Allah made this punishment an example to their own generation, that is the nations that witnessed it and those whom the news reached at that time, and to those who came after them. Thus, proof was established against people. This story also serves to deter people from disobeying Allah. But it is not a beneficial lesson for anyone except those who fear Allah. Others do not benefit from his signs.
نعم. So Shaykh Taqiyuddin Hilal said, and we made this punishment an example to their own and to succeeding generations. And what did the beginning of what Imam As-Si'di say in ayah 66?
Allah made this, Allah made this punishment an example to their own generation. That is the nations that witnessed it and those whom the news reached.
There you go. That is to the nations that witnessed it and those whom its news, what was it? Whom its news reached?
Assalamu alaikum. Those whom the news reached.
And those whom the news reached. This must be there, either in parentheses. We put it in parentheses. So we made this punishment an example, and then parentheses, what we just said. End of parentheses. And to succeeding generations. And to succeed in generations, what did the Shaykh say? وَمَنْ بَعْدَهَا, he said. What did he say in English?
And to those who came after them.
And those who came after them. Instead of succeeding generations, and to those who came after them. We will say. This is what Imam As-Si'di said. نعم. نكال لما بين يديهم وموعظة للمتقين, and a lesson for those who are al-muttaqun. نعم. And a lesson for those who fear Allah. And then put as a footnote, however, it can only be a beneficial lesson to the muttaqin. Read the last part.
Assalamu alaikum. But it is not a beneficial lesson for anyone except those who fear Allah.
نعم.
Others do not benefit from his signs.
And the last part, and that don't benefit.
Others do not benefit from his signs.
Others?
نعم. In the
طيب.
translation, it is written.
There you go. نعم, نعم. Others don't. نعم. Put this as a footnote. This is good. This is good so far. طيب. I'm planning, apologies, but I am planning today to have a very brief tafsir lesson, so we will stop here. And to take our time with the book of Tawheed, I want to move a little bit regarding the book of Tawheed, inshallah azza wa jal. So let's just read what we have translated so far. I'm waiting for Ibn Junayd. لا إله إلا الله. طيب, ayah 65, and indeed you knew those who transgressed among you in the matter of the Sabbath, i.e. Saturday. We said to them, be monkeys and degraded. لا, be monkeys degraded without and. كونوا قردة خاسئين. And this is حال. طيب. Be monkeys degraded. And then ayah number 66. Do you have it, Ibn Junayd? We didn't say rejected. We said degraded only. So we made this punishment an example, the nations, an example to the nations that witnessed it, to the nations that witnessed it, and to an example to, and then parentheses, the nations that witnessed it, and those whom the news reached at that time, to their own and to those who came after them. What? There's obviously a mistake here. Again, let's get the book. There's obviously a mistake. ولقد علمتم. طيب, فجعلناها نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين. So we made this punishment an example to, and then parentheses, the nations that witnessed it, end of the parentheses, and those whom the news reached at that. Where did you get and those who the news reached at that time? Delete this. So it's going to be, so we made this punishment an example to, parentheses, the nations that witnessed it, and those who came after. And the lesson to those who fear Allah. Imam As-Si'di, may Allah have mercy on him, said, but it is not a beneficial lesson except for those who fear Allah and others do not benefit from his signs. Ayah 66, so we made this punishment an example to the nations that witnessed it. I don't see the it because there's something block it. It's there, yeah? And those who came after the type. I'm going to read it as if it is there. Let's hear how it sounds. So we made this punishment an example to the nations that witnessed it and those who came after them, and a lesson to those who fear Allah. Allahu Akbar. This sounds so good. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah Azza wa Jalla, our translation is going to be very understandable to the students of knowledge as well as non-student, even reverts and so on. And for the students of knowledge, they know that this is what Al-Imam As-Si'di said, and it is all based on Imam As-Si'di, what the ulama said. Taqi ad-Din al-Hilali, Imam As-Si'di, Ibn Uthaymeen, Ibn Kathir. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this easy and puts barakah in it. I need a couple of minutes before I start the book of Tawheed, as I have an important phone call. I'll get to it and then I will start the book of Tawheed.